You may be used to Lamborghini producing supercars. However, you may or may not know that Lamborghini actually started off building tractors. In 2012, they introduced a 4x4 concept. A car they would aim to introduce and bring a new audience to Lamborghini. Well, here it is, the Lamborghini Urus. It has a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 that produces 641 brake horsepower. That's rib-crushing 627 foot-pound of torque. The Urus is the fastest production SUV in the world, and for this, Lamborghini charged £200,000. But can they inject some real supercar DNA into an SUV? Lamborghini Urus at one of Britain's top 10 driving roads, the Cat and Fiddle near Macclesfield. And what a place it is to come and test out this car. This is Lamborghini's second 4x4. As you already probably know, Lamborghini don't take half measures when they come to building their cars. They make them absolutely bonkers. And this is no exception whatsoever. With 640 brake horsepower and 800 plus Newton meters of torque, you best believe that there is plenty of oomph and power there. However, how is that all put into a 4x4? Now, handling wise, you would expect a 4x4 to be a little wafty, it might not handle the bends as well, but this is one of the best handling cars I have ever driven. It has the largest ceramic brakes of any production car at this time. So there's 3 different driving modes in the Lamborghini Urus. You have Strada, which is street, you have sport, and then you have the bonkers Corsa mode, which is race. Right now we're in Strada mode. The suspension is nice and soft, it absorbs the road bumps really, really well, and you'll feel a little bit more body roll. However, flick of a switch, straight into sport, and you get a little more power. And then straight into Corsa, you hear the pop and crackle, and we're gone. Lamborghini have installed a dual clutch gearbox in this, which means super fast gear shifts, pretty much effortless. But that also means another awesome thing, an incredible launch. Let's check it out. When Lamborghini announced that they were going to build a 4x4, I was super excited. I really was looking forward to what they were going to come up with. It was a hugely anticipated car. They did many launches of it. I got to see the car, got up close and personal with it, but I never had the chance of actually driving it, and I didn't want to until I took delivery of one of the first Uruses in the country. We're nearly approaching 10,000 miles in this car now, and there have been 10,000 miles of joy. And why wouldn't it be? Just listen to that. Here on the bend, taking. A lot of people ask me, Aleem, has the Lamborghini Urus kept up to your expectations of what you expected from the brand? And the answer, quite simply, is yes. Even though a lot of people compare this to an Audi, and there is a lot of parts and a lot of similarities that it does share from Audi, obviously being owned by the group, but it all comes together in a very Lamborghini way. And let's see why. let's have a little look at the styling of the car. When I first heard that Lamborghini were going to be introducing a super SUV to the family tree, I was a little bit skeptical on the way it was going to look. Bearing in mind the LM002 was built for military purposes. It's a huge boxy shape. So what was the Urus going to look like? Well, now that it's in front of us, I think Lamborghini have done a pretty good job. You can see inspiration from all previous models, especially the Aventador, the Huracan. However, there's also little parts of it from the Countach and the Diablo. It is very Lamborghini. So well done to the designers over at Lamborghini for creating a 4x4, which is a difficult task in itself, but also making it look like a super SUV. As you can see, the lines are nice and sharp to give it that sporty, aggressive feel. Imagine this coming into your rear view mirror. You're going to want to move out the way. The big air vents sucking in all that air, cold air, to cool down the big V8 engine that Lamborghini, or shall I say Audi, have built for this Urus. My Urus is actually fitted with the 22-inch diamond cut finish wheels. You can also get a 23-inch wheel as well, but that wasn't actually offered on the launch cars, the first cars arriving into the UK. So yeah, that's that. I also have the side skirts that are a dealer add-on extra, a little pricey, but it complements the diamond cut finish wheel well, especially with the black paintwork, etc. And also for, you know, some of my short friends, you know, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I have a little short friend. It also helps for him to get on in. Before we get onto the rear of the car, I wanted to show you this cool door design that Lamborghini have achieved with the Urus. Frameless doors makes the car door a little lighter, as well as giving it a very open feel when entering. A nice little feature. However, they did kind of ruin it a little bit by having these exposed door handles. We could have had flush door handles. It's the same as the Huracan, no? As you can see, Lamborghini have made the back end of this car a little busy, but it wouldn't be Lamborghini if they didn't do that. But it all comes together quite well. These futuristic looking lights are very fitting for the Urus, with a 3D design giving it that depth and giving it that shape to adjust to some of the body panels as well. Really emphasizes this part of the car. You have the exhaust finished in a sports black, the pops and crackles from that. Oh! And the rear diffuser, when I took delivery of this car, it was actually finished in a silver. It had to be done black to give it that finished stealth black look. You really want to see this car when you put your foot down from the back though. The way it squats down, giving it that wide stance, that powerful, mean look. Exactly what Lamborghini needed to achieve. Here's an interesting fact for you guys. This is the biggest boot on any production Lamborghini. And it is quite big as well. It is actually a very big boot. I wasn't expecting this from Lamborghini, but it just goes to show it is a usable, everyday SUV. You can just load up your shopping in it and off you go. Moving on to the interior of the Lamborghini Urus, and as soon as you enter, you can really feel the quality there. Lots of leather, Alcantara. I actually went for a red Alcantara finish, as you can see. I thought it complemented the black quite well. It has 3 large screens, one for the climate control, one for the speed, and one for the multimedia navigation and that sort of stuff. It also has Apple CarPlay, lots of tech in it as well. The Bang & Olufsen speakers are a great optional extra as well. Obviously we have on this very car all the driving modes. That is also an optional extra as well. It's got the piano black wood as well to complement and bring out the red and all the other details of the interior. However, I would have liked carbon fiber for the vents to give it that aggressive, sporty kind of feel in the interior as well. However, that option wasn't actually available on the first cars that were coming to the UK. So again, maybe on the next Lamborghini Urus. In the back of the Urus, it is also quite spacious, lots of headroom. I'm 6'2". The driver's seat right now is also set for somebody who is about 6'2". And yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. There is an optional extra of having 2 TV screens as well fitted onto the back, but I didn't go for that option because I want my passengers to focus on the road just the way I am. A few things that I wanted to pick about the car that I don't like. Just small little bits and bobs, but they all make all the difference. First of all, the selector for all the driving modes, you have to cycle through all the modes before you can go on to the previous mode. A little bit of an issue there. I think Lamborghini could have troubleshooted that a bit better. Another small issue that this car has is the fact that it has no roof handles. Now, whenever I have passengers sitting in their car and we're going a little fast, etc., they would like to hold on to something, but unfortunately there's nothing here, so I guess you just have to hold on to your seat. Another little weird issue that arose on this car was the lumbar. They started to make a squeaky noise. Now, I know that I'm not exactly the lightest of chaps, but what, after 10,000 miles, I'm gonna have to get that into the warranty workshop. Now, Lamborghini use the V12 naturally aspirated engine in their Aventador. They use the naturally aspirated V10 in the Huracan, and now in the Urus they use the V8 made by Audi. That's right, it has the same engine as an Audi RS6. But is that a bad thing? Lamborghini, I feel, have put this power plant in this car because it is best suited for it. It still has the Lamborghini characteristics. Again, especially in Corsa mode. These ceramic brakes are absolutely fantastic. With this kind of performance on this size of a car, without those brakes, it would not be able to perform the way it does. It gives you superb amounts of confidence to throw this car around the bends and approach corners as fast as you need to. Being a Lamborghini, this car is definitely going to attract a certain type of customer. But being a 4x4, I wonder where this will be used mostly. I mean, I could already guess. Probably in the streets of London, no? Well, I'm not exactly brave enough to take this £200,000 4x4 off-roading because it's actually my own car, not a demonstrator. But what I can say is that from the performance that it shows on road, if it behaves or handles anything similar off-road, it is a complete weapon. And Lamborghini, as well as other previous owners, say it does just that. Another question that I get asked a lot is how fuel efficient it is. Well, it's no surprise that it's pretty terrible. It is a Lamborghini and it has got a V8 power plant in there that is also got turbo assistance. So it's going to really suck that fuel tank dry. I'm averaging about 12 to 15 miles per gallon on a lucky day. But what I love most about this car is the fact that I can just put 5 of my friends in the car and we're all rolling around in a Lamborghini. No surprise that every rapper would want this car. Overall, what is my opinion on the Lamborghini Urus? And I have to say, Lamborghini have outdone themselves once again. They have created a super SUV, which no other manufacturer other than maybe Porsche have with the Cayenne. But still, I've driven the Cayenne and this is nothing like a Cayenne. This is nothing like a BMW X6. This is nothing like a Range Rover SVR. This is in its league of its own.
Oh my